I don't want to waste Dana White's time. He's the CEO and the UFC president. He is joining us live from New Orleans, and we appreciate it. He's a busy guy. So it's interesting. In the history of the UFC, the best fighters I've ever seen are John Jones, who was unbelievable in his prime, and I think Khabib, who made even Conor McGregor look completely outmatched. But Dustin Poirier, who fights Holloway tomorrow, is one of the more entertaining, likable, interesting guys. He's on that second tier of guys that when he fights, I have to watch. Did you envision him when you found him being this great, this captivating for this long, Dana?
Who, Max and Dustin? I mean,
no. Yeah, Dustin Poirier. Poirier.
These guys have.
Yeah.
Yeah, but, well, you never know. You never know. Obviously, when he first faced Conor, they were really early in their careers, and Conor won that fight. And you never know how a guy's going to bounce back from a loss. But if you look at Poirier's last 11 fights, I mean, it's all been straight killers, and 7 of them are former world champions. So he's absolutely a very special fighter, as is Max Holloway, which is what makes this fight so intriguing.
Yeah, in the history of the UFC, nobody's landed more strikes than Holloway. And Poirier will sit in the middle of the ring and throw blows. You know what's interesting about your sport? And I was talking to a member of the staff. When Caitlin Clark came to the WNBA, they weren't prepared for it. They weren't well run. They weren't well organized. She's overwhelmed them. The officiating's bad. You and the Fertittas ran a great sport. So when Conor McGregor arrived, you were prepared for it. But like Caitlin Clark, he was so damn popular, so fast. And I want you to talk about that. You have not only been on the ground floor, but you had your Caitlin Clark. You had a superstar emerge that was literally the most viral human being in American sports. So as the WNBA is struggling with Caitlin, go back to the Conor days of what it's like to run a sport, and here comes a superstar, a Taylor Swift, into your lap. Do you remember? Was it great? Did it create anxiety? Take us back to that time.
Yeah, no, I mean, the first time that I ever sat down and had dinner with Conor McGregor in Las Vegas, he flew out from Ireland, and I left the dinner and I called Lorenzo Fertitta and I said, let me tell you what, I don't know if this guy can fight or not, but if he can even throw a punch, he's going to be a huge superstar for us. And obviously, we leaned into that. And you're right. Listen, Caitlin Clark is a massive superstar. So all the stuff that I got going on right now, I actually had my assistant look to see when I have season tickets to the Aces. So I had them find out, when she was coming to town, and I'm clearing my schedule so I can go to that game and watch her play live. I agree with what you're saying.
Yeah. So you are apparently, I just read this the other day, and this made news, are going to have a card at the White House. So you've gone to an island, you travel around the country. Now you're going to have something at the White House. Obviously, I mean, there's security and all these things. Were you shocked when that was offered to you, or did you know that was coming?
I did not know it was coming. Yeah. But when he offered it up, I was like, oh yeah, I'm all in on this. So we've already sent a logistics team out there that have walked the White House. There's calls going back and forth every day between Craig Borsari, my head of production, and the White House. And then we will have all these renderings done within the next 10 days. And we're going to fly out, sit down, and walk them through it and see what he wants and what he doesn't want.
So you're also getting involved in boxing with Canelo and Crawford. So you and I have talked about this. We both grew up boxing fans. I grew up with Muhammad Ali and Frazier. I grew up with Sugar Ray and Hearns and Hagler. You did too, as a Boston guy. And then you're part of UFC. Yep. I prefer UFC. I think it's more consistent. I think the quality, the women's division. But I still have a soft spot for a great boxing match. I saw Pacquiao fight 6 times. So as you go into boxing, why did you choose to do it?
I've been talking about it for a long time. I've had a lot of criticism of boxing over the years. And now here I am. It's time to put my money where my mouth is. And tickets go on sale today, actually, for Canelo Crawford. Legion Stadium, September 13th, tickets on sale today. For me to be able to, my first boxing match that I'm going to promote, other than McGregor Mayweather, is Canelo versus Crawford. Two of the greatest fighters of our era. and in a big, massive fight in a stadium in Las Vegas. I mean, this whole thing just sort of fell in my lap. I have other plans in 26 and what I'm going to do with boxing, but this fight here, this just sort of happened. Shake Turkey and I ended up doing this deal for me to promote this fight.
So Max Holloway and Dustin Poirier tomorrow. One of the hard things for you, even a Nick Khan at the WWE, although UFC is different, obviously, is finding your next star. Now, in the NFL, you have a draft. You have 7 rounds of draft, and they come to you. But in your world, where do you find, take me behind the scenes on this, Dana. Where do you find your next Dustin Poirier? Where do you find your stars? Are you flying around the globe to find, do you have a team of people that do that?
Yeah, we do. I have matchmakers that are always looking for up-and-coming talent, but where it really comes from right now, we do a show called Dana White's Contender Series. Yeah. It starts in August, and the best unsigned fighters in the world fight each other on this show to see who earns a contract. And it's been unbelievable for creating talent. We've already had 3 world champions come off that show. So, that's really where it is right now.
Okay, UFC 318, Holloway, Poirier tomorrow, the Smoothie King Center in New Orleans. Is a great, by the way, it's a great venue. It's going to be wild because Poirier is actually from there. Holloway's from Hawaii. Before I let you go, forever there was this stupid stigma about you can't have pro teams in Vegas. And, it was ridiculous. I mean, it just, nobody monitors sports gambling like Vegas. They don't want games thrown. So now you've got hockey, UFC, you've got baseball coming, you've got the Raiders. For people that haven't been to Vegas in a while, are you surprised how willing over the last 5 years pro sports have been? I mean, you were the first in that really because boxing was all over the place. Are you surprised that people have finally embraced Vegas over the last half decade?
Well, I think it was the gambling issue. I think that, they were so stuck on the gambling issue. And once that got over, you could tell if you grew up in Vegas, when you think about the UNLV Running Rebels, they were like the pro team when I was a kid. And they were so well supported and financially and people buying tickets, and the list goes on and on. I knew that, listen, if you're going to go to an away game for your team anytime during the year, which one are you going to pick? You're definitely going to Vegas. It's a no-brainer. You go in there, you have an unbelievable weekend, tons of hotels, the greatest restaurants in the world, the best shopping. There's always something to do, and it's just a no. I mean, there are so many sports teams. There's going to be a ping pong league there pretty soon. Vegas is the sports capital of the world right now.
Hey, Dustin Poirier, before we go, when a boxer gets older, and do they say to you, hey, Dana, this is going to be my last fight? Do you approach them sometimes and go, you know what, man, we care about your health. We care about you as a guy. When you get a Poirier who's still very good, who makes the decision, Dana? Do you ever lead that and say, hey, guy, I think you got about 2 fights left?
Well, Poirier and Holloway are ranked number 4 and number 5 in the world in the nastiest division in the sport. So, it's not like they're on this huge decline or anything like that. Poirier was the one that said, I think I'm ready to retire. And he wanted to do it here, in his home state. And think about this, highest grossing event in arena history tonight, Saturday night, and over 17,000 in attendance. So still a huge superstar, still, on top of his game, and a legitimate badass fight for his last fight. His retirement fight. So, there's nothing. I would never go to a guy like Poirier and say, hey, you should think about, retiring. There have been guys, but it's usually guys that are on a skid and don't want to retire. Those are usually the ones that I say, you should probably hang it up.
So I'm buying it tomorrow. Max Holloway, Dustin Poirier, UFC 318. Dana, you're a busy guy. I always appreciate you stopping by and giving the herd 10 minutes.
Good to see you, buddy.
All right. It's going to be a great fight. Those guys will stand in the middle of the ring. Poirier's last fight. Holloway's still good. Holloway more of a volume guy. Poirier's going to stand up and try to knock you out. So that's going to be good stuff. Dana White stopping by.